My name's Eric. I'm the host of Talking with Famous People. And I'm the guy who's here to spend some quality time with you today. Trying to make this hole in my pants safety pinned up here. I don't like it, but I keep popping the safety pins, I guess if I want to fix it, I'm going to have to sew it. I could sew it. I'm not unable to sew things. I've sewed things before. I kind of like sewing. So anyway, it's Monday. It's an ordinary Monday, full of ordinary things. And, I'm really just killing time. Just killing time waiting for Wednesday. Tomorrow I'll message my doctor. Well, I could do it today. Could message him today. It doesn't hurt to message 2 days early instead of 1 day early, just to make sure that everything goes as planned. Playing a little poker right now. Took the trash out already last night. I have 4 very full trash cans because we switched to every other week trash. I'm interested to see if we get a call from the realtor because they're showing the house today. So we'll see if there's any kind of results from that. Yeah, there's sound. Now it's not muted. There's definitely sound. You're just not hearing it. But if somebody else comes and tells me there's no sound, I'll believe you. It's not muted, Hi there, Broccoli Todd. There is sound, says Broccoli Todd. Good. Glad to hear it. It's just not very interesting sound. That's all. Because, today's a waiting day. Nothing's going to happen today of any interest. Talk about the benefits of tariffs. I mean, there are only benefits to tariffs as responses to other tariffs, right? Potentially. Free trade agreements are obviously much more desirable because a trade deficit isn't a real deficit. as a means of pressuring other countries to get rid of their tariffs, that's a perfectly reasonable strategy to use tariffs. But by and large, tariffs are a bad thing because free trade is a good thing. We don't, when I type somebody from overseas, there's no third party getting involved in our commerce, right? Well, it would be silly if I had to charge $120 for people outside the country, but $100 for people inside the country. It's just silly. We don't need those. The geographical barriers um, that once defined trade are no longer as significant because so much of what's done isn't manufacturing or selling of manufactured goods. Well, broccoli, Todd, that's pretty selfish of you. Because what you're saying is you'd rather have a good manufacturing job than everybody being able to buy cheap t-shirts, right? You're not saying you're willing to trade your ability to buy cheap t-shirts for a good manufacturing job. You're willing to trade everybody's ability to buy cheap t-shirts for your manufacturing job. So you need to keep that in mind. That manufacturing job, which still won't exist, by the way. You're not going to tariff shit enough that it's cheaper to hire Americans to manufacture T-shirts in America than it is to import Bangladeshi T-shirts. It's just not going to happen. You have to be realistic about the state of development of a country's economy. You know. Before preaching about terrorists, perhaps take a moment to reflect. One should first learn to protect oneself before pointing fingers. Self-destruction speaks louder than empty words. Who's talking about terrorists? I don't think anybody mentioned anything about terrorists. We're talking about tariffs. Okay? Tariffs. Big difference between tariffs and terrorists. And the thing that we need to remember is that economies are not centrally determined things, right? Individual people need work done for a specific reason, and that's where jobs come from. You know, it's very straightforward. Oh, I don't think you're a bot, Maya. That's fine. We're all good. You're good. Ain't no problems. And there also ain't no mountain big enough to keep me away from you. Anyway, I generally oppose tariffs, but it doesn't mean that um oh, let's fold or check. Um I just don't think that third parties interfering with my ability to engage in commerce is something that's going to produce good outcomes. Well, I bluffed. We got that bluff through. Sounds a little bit sketchy. I don't approve of my previous play there. I mean, the thing is, why would tariffs make lower taxes? Tariffs are taxes on imported goods. They're just taxes paid by the producer, not by the consumer. There's no way to lower taxes by raising taxes. We need to we need to get it somehow. We can raise taxes without raising taxes. Like, oh, don't worry, we're gonna just raise taxes on rich people. Like, there's no way to raise taxes on Americans without raising taxes on Americans. Now, granted, tariffs are not a tax on Americans, but they are a tax on consumption, essentially. Okay, stop. I don't want to watch you eat. Go ahead and eat. Eat your food. God, this cat. If you thought you had a bad cat, you're wrong. You've never had a bad cat until you've had my bad cat. He's such a bad cat. He's a bad cat, and he looks so bad because he's always meowing at me. I mean, does the government make a lot of tax revenue on tariffs? I don't know about that. I'd have to research that a bit. You know, the thing is, if the thing to remember is like when the US tries to unilaterally do things that relate to economic policy, it tends to backfire. So, like, if we try to dictate, well, it's true of any state, right? Any government. Anytime the government tries to dictate non market pressures as, as determining economic matters, disaster ensues. I mean, there's no good way to centrally determine things on an economic level most of the time. Decentralization is the key to economic success, prosperity, a high standard of living, etc. If you want to see what centralization of decision making does, just look at the Great Leap Forward in China, which resulted in one of history's worst famines, costing tens of millions of lives. Countries don't raise their prices because of tariffs. It's the thing that gets imported costs more to get to market here because of the tariffs, and accordingly, the people who buy, like, if you're a store that's like a brick and mortar store that sells stuff, right? The thing you're purchasing costs more now, so you charge more for it. But I am curious about how how tariffs impact tax revenue. I'd be curious to research that. I don't know the answer to it. Everything else will still be affordable? Well, when there's a new debate topic, how long does it usually take to sort through all the possible arguments and determine the right one? Well, There aren't very many new arguments, but COVID was one, was an example of a new argument. And I didn't I didn't get all the arguments processed quickly enough. I should have done it more quickly. I was just like, I couldn't believe it was happening, you know? I couldn't believe that people were reacting the way they were. The best arguments should have been freedom of assembly, um, no extra legal powers, emergency powers need to be, conscribed to a short period of time, and most importantly, let it run its course. That should have been the number one argument because what people want is people want an alternative advocacy. They don't want just a negation, which, even though that's how they should think about things, if they want to be correct, it's like we default to the negation. So I don't need to provide a better way to meow than your suggestion. I just need to prove that your suggestion fails to meet its burden to affirm, on any stock issue or on some other criterion. Look, Mister, don't raise 8 times the big blind before the flop if you expect me to give you any action. Lamau. What about healthcare? Healthcare is just a fucking catastrophe in this country. We've codified a middleman of health insurance. Like, could we have done anything worse? I don't think so. That's why smart people don't have health insurance. I'm playing poker online, yeah. How am I doing? Fine. It's a $20 tournament, and I just started playing right around the same time I started the stream. I said, "Oh, these two things combined will be an activity." I'm not claiming to be particularly wise, but here's my perspective. I don't believe lowering fuel prices is the answer. When fuel is cheap, many tend to use it for less meaningful purposes. But when it's expensive, people begin to value every drop. Just look at the behavioral shifts in places like the U.S. Necessity often teaches discipline better than comfort ever could. Well, I'm going to have to take exception with what you're saying here, Maya, because energy costs are the one true like most people's energy costs are not voluntary at all, like you're saying. They're static, such that I have to drive to work every day this amount of distance and drive home. And it might be the case that people decide to not go on vacation because fuel costs are high if they're going to go on a driving vacation, let's say. But that doesn't help anybody. That doesn't help the economy. That just hurts everybody. We want if there's anything in the world that we want to subsidize and keep cheap, it's energy costs because all human endeavor is predicated upon our ability to use energy. Notions that we should limit the amount of fuel consumption for environmental concerns are insane and ridiculous. There's no possible way that we're going to address climate change by reducing carbon emissions. Human endeavor produces carbon. It's the engine of our prosperity. So instead, we're going to have to solve climate change through some alternative method. Either not solve it, but instead adapt to it, or some sort of black swan, like a technology that doesn't exist yet that comes in and actually solves the problem, or just better sequestration of carbon that's existing in the atmosphere. There's a lot of alternative ways to do that, but we certainly don't want to engage in like unilateral carbon reductions. It's important to remember also that when we don't do something, someone else does it in a more dirty fashion. If we're not responsible for producing something, then China's going to produce it and it's going to have a lot more pollution in the process. Or India. where American Indians come from. I'm assuming. I will say this, and I think that we should all remember and acknowledge this because it's important. During Trump's first term, he wanted to start a trade war with China. I thought it was a terrible idea. Like, why would you want to do that? What are you thinking? What kind of an idiot is this guy? But you know what? It turned out just fine. Well, if the black swan comes in the form of close to carbon-free energy production, then carbon emission reduction can be a legitimate thing to to prevent the worsening of an existing problem. But it's not going to change the fact that the Earth's already heated up a fair amount. Well, they should be worried about politics in Pakistan and India. There's actually some live fire going on between those two countries right now. Or now there's a ceasefire, but there was a couple days ago actual live fire. And they're both nuclear armed nations. So, you know, people should be concerned about that. However, I would say that if there is going to be a nuclear war, India Pakistan would be the best nuclear war for there to be. It's the least likely to spread. How's that for a silver lining? If we're gonna have a nuclear war, let's have it between India and Pakistan. Kitty, I don't want to watch you eat anymore. Are you gonna eat or what? No, you just want to control me? What a bad kitty. He's such a bad kitty. You know what I heard in the supermarket on the radio, they play music in the supermarket the other day. I heard Cold Hearted Snake by Paul Abdul. Hadn't heard that in a long time. You're a cold-hearted snake. Look into your eyes. Oh, you've been telling lies. I keep failing to play my cards. Okay, there. Now I'm actually back, so everyone's going to be, I'm sure, very irritated at me at the moment. Well, what have we here? I've got 31 big blinds. I'm in 10th place out of 19 people. It's not too terrible, I guess. About halfway. So they call me Halfway Harry. Where's the debate card game coming out? When? Oh, God, I don't know. Never. It's a great idea, but what do I look like? A doer of things? I kind of want to take a little car Well, now I'm playing this poker tournament. I gotta wait till the tournament's done. But I kind of want to take a little car and go over to the other house. I did go over there yesterday and swept the steps off because the realtor is showing it this morning to somebody. I got to look at my Redfin owner's dashboard today, and it shows like how many views your listing's got, how many favorites it's got. If I can get a satisfactory knowledge level, I'll make it. Thanks. That's a real generous offer. Let's talk about it. We should have a conversation. I have a document somewhere, but yeah, Redfin, the real estate site. Yeah. So I'll pull it up so you can see what I can see. So it was, I already clicked on it, so it'll be in red. Redfin. Visit your home dashboard. Owner dashboard. So it says the listing has had 275 views and 16 favorites. And its emails were sent out were 4,718. So it should, hopefully it'll do a good job. Let me show all 18 documents. Well, the last document thing here was May 8th. So that means it listed on May 9th, I think. And today is May 12th. So it's only been on the market for 3 days. Hi, Blue Baron. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're winning all the prizes. Every prize in the prize box belongs to you nowadays. How many prizes are there in the prize box? Oh, a few. A few prizes. No. I lost. I'm a big loser. That's good. I'm glad I lost because it was pinning me down into this room in a way that I didn't want to be pinned down. That's why I bothered. Okay, so right. I still have my name misspelled in every single communication that I've had with Zoe. It's spelled Erik. That's fine. I don't care. Put my glasses on. I will send you a St. Joseph if you want to buy the little fellow. What's St. Joseph? I could promote it, true. Oh, you get a St. Joseph and you bury it on the property and that makes your house sell? Oh, that's some black magic there, huh? I guess it's not black magic because it's Christian, right? It's like Mexican magic. Mexican Catholic magic. Well, we'll see how it goes. Your primary school was called St. Joseph's and it was a horrible school. Well, was it a Catholic school? I'm guessing it was. Let's go enjoy the beautiful day outside for a minute or two. It is absolutely gorgeous out. I do have some things I'd like to attend to. You shouldn't mix education and religion. I tend to agree with that, Blue Baron. Let's come out back here where it's extra pleasant. Oh, you know what we could do together? I needed to drive the little car down to the shed down here and get a couple things out of the shed. I've been humming and hawing about whether I should buy a wheelbarrow. Well, yesterday I went down to the shed. Guess what's in the shed? A wheelbarrow. I don't need to buy a wheelbarrow. I already have one. How do you like that? There's another thing I want to get from the shed down there, which is there's this. It's like a work light that you might put on at night. It's got two big like light sources on it. I want to see if that works. I want to bring it up here see if it works. Are there big spiders in the shed? I haven't noticed any particular spiders in the shed. Last year there were wasps' nests in the shed. But there's a lot of different things in the shed. I need to like clean the shed out and reorganize it, you know? That could be something I could do today. I could go down there, take shit out of the shed, put shit back into the shed. No, you're not retarded. That's normal to think of that. How did I deal with the wasps? In the shed last year? I didn't. I just let them be there. But I, just the other day, I squirted down all the waspitoriums from around the house here with the pressure washer. So I figured, like, okay, you wasps want to be in the shed. I don't go in the shed that often. If I were to go start, like, cleaning out the shed today, that would be, then obviously I'd have to worry about wasps in the shed. I don't know if there are any wasps in the shed this year. I think maybe we'll go do that in a little bit. That sounds kind of fun. It's weird. It's like I'm not depressed anymore, and I was for a long time, or I don't know, traumatized or whatever. And I'm getting used to the fact that I don't have to be on amphetamines to have fun doing stuff. It's like it used to be where I have various fun things that I'm doing, and I either am empowered to maximally do them by amphetamines, or I'm kind of sleepy and waiting to get back to them. But like right now, I'm not on sleepy week or anything. It's been weeks since I've had any amphetamines. I burned through that bottle last month, just like bam. But I was doing a lot of work at the other house. That's why. I've been stung by a wasp before. I stepped on one in my house in Temple City. I was walking across the lawn barefoot and I stepped on one. It hurt. It got me right in the soft part of the underfoot. The soft part of the underfoot. Hi, Octavia Silva. So, what do you guys think? You guys want to go down to the shed? Even if I don't clean the shed, I do want to get that wheelbarrow out of the shed. You got stung in the head and it really hurt. That's why you shouldn't try to headbutt wasps. It's not a good way to get them. Blue Baron, think about that next time. Well, I don't know if I mentioned it here last time I streamed. Maybe I did. Rachel and I saw a rattlesnake just like 2 days ago. I've been keeping an eye out for them on the road because you were throwing stones at a wasp's nest. Well, imagine what it must feel like when a hive stings you 100 times. Yeah, that would be bad. Only headbutt them at night. Good advice, Tech Tidbits. At night, wasps put their stingers away. They put their stingers back in the armory, in their waspatoria. All right. So we're going to find the keys to the little wilderness car, which should be in here somewhere. There it is. Bee stings aren't that bad. When I was a kid, we used to play with bees a lot. And I got stung all the time. The thing was, you waited for them to land on the flower and you grabbed them by the wings. And if you did just right, they couldn't sting you. It's kind of a thing we boys did. I'm not sure why. I guess because we were mean to bees. Boys, you know. Certain lack of empathy there. I think I gotta poo before we go to the shed. Wasps won't hurt you when you're wearing pajamas. Well, that's interesting. We Yanks got so much land around our house. Well, me and Rachel are on 1 acre, but the neighborhood we live in is it's a no fence neighborhood. So it's like everybody's house just is in the forest, and so it looks like more land than we actually have. We've got a lot of like nature land around us, but only 1 acre of this. Our property is only on 1 acre. And we're not your average Americans either. We live in a very low density population county, rural county, and with very slow / no / low development. There's not even a single stoplight in the whole county. What makes all of that even more odd is that we're in California. It's very unusual place to be in California, you know. Almost everybody in California is in the cities. Don't worry, I'm almost done pooping. Then we can go to the shed. Mr. Kitty, are you supervising me going to the bathroom? My memory is not like the other one. Alright. I'm done going poof. But we both know the way it's gonna go the same way. Yes, you're full of meows. And steady news. Yes, you have the right to build a fence, but well, this neighborhood used to have a homeowners association, and it had certain like aesthetic vision. Everybody would be in things that looked like cabins, and there wouldn't be any fences. There used to originally was a golf course here, maybe 9 holes. I'm not sure. Some kind of golfing thing. But there's no longer a homeowners association. And if someone were to build a fence, nobody would be able to do anything about it. But it's just nobody does because nobody has, and so nobody does, you know. I mean, there's a little, not even a fence. Well, I guess it's a fence of sorts. It's like a little rustic picket fence thing around a property down there. You can just like step over it if you want to. Alright, don't worry, we're not going very far. We're just going down to the shed. So we don't have to worry about losing connectivity. Say, I probably can't bring you inside the shed with me. When I tried that before, I lost connectivity. But it's nice to be down here by the shed and look at the things down here. It's like these trees right here, this tree, I mean, I guess this branch is ours, but this tree is not on our property, right? But it feels like our tree because there's no fence here or anything. Down here, that's not our property. The hill looks nice from down here. It's got the ferns and the orange flowers and stuff. All right, let's get the things out of the shed that I want to get out of the shed. How do you close this up? There. Alright, well this wheel's all froze up, but maybe if I oil it, it'll start to turn again. And then there's another thing I want to get out of here and see if it works. It's this light thing. Okay. Well, we got some stuff out of the shed. A lot more stuff in the shed, you know. I need to clean it out and see what all's in there. There's like a woodworking table there with a bunch of stuff on top of it, and then there's a bunch of like poles and things. And then there's this whole thing. These are all full of different things. It's a nice folder shelf. Plus, I got in here shit tons of stuff like this. Like wire, right? Different kinds of wire. There's a ladder. I mean, I won't really know what all's in here until I take everything out and put it back in, you know? But that seems like a task for another day. I got my things that I wanted to get. Because that light works. You know, I'm working on a pond right now. I'm building a pond. You might be saying to yourself, Eric, is this a good idea for you to build a pond? Do you know what you're doing at all? The answer is probably not and no. But sometimes in life you just gotta go with your gut. And this is one of those times. Do I have to lock it? No, I don't lock it. I don't even latch it. Who's gonna come take stuff out of my shed? Nobody. I mean, I'll admit, like, maybe some raccoon will get in there or something. You know what? Just forget it was a bungee cord. Just go like this and hope for the best. Gotta do a 3-point turn because I don't want to back all the way up the hill. Okay, the first stop is right here. Because here is where I'm unloading the chair. Oh yeah, a little bit of oil, that'll move. Now there's two chairs over there, see? Alright. Now let's go back in the garage. Okay. So now let's take this out. And let's oil it. See if we can get it working. WD-40. I know I have you somewhere, WD-40. But where? But if where? Okay, well, maybe it's over here. Well, I don't see any WD-40. But I know we have some somewhere. Well, I tell you what. Let's try hitting this with some good old-fashioned cooking oil and see if that helps. I'll be right back. Never mind, I found the WD-40. I also found this silicone spray lubricant. Let's try WD-40 first. Alright, well, let me try pushing it around a bit. And see if I can make it go. It's kind of rusty, obviously. Well, it's not completely stuck, but still kind of a tough go. Let's try this other kind of lubricant. Let's try walking it around some more. Well, it's still pretty hard to get. Let me try using some of this. Goof off. This is called goof off. It's supposedly like get sticky stuff. Well, I'm still not satisfied with it. It should spin more easily than this, I think. I guess it's good enough. another push around. Hey, well, it's better than it was. Now I gotta figure out where I'm gonna put this. I guess I'm gonna put it out back, where I will presumably need it when working on the pond. Of course, it's all kind of pointless if this is so rusted that it just punches right through. I guess it's not quite that rusted. It's a pretty ratchet wheelbarrow. It could probably wouldn't kill me to get a different wheelbarrow. But it does seem to be rolling pretty well now. So that's nice. I think all my efforts paid off here. Okay. Just put you like that. Now let's go look at that light and see if it works. Oh, it's lovely today. It's just lovely. I think it's fine. I think that wheelbarrow is just fine. Careful mixing stuff? Oh, you mean like different kinds of lubricants? Didn't occur to me. There. Okay. Now let's try that light out and see if it works. It looks like a nice light, huh? Oh, I see. You gotta pull that out. Like that. Okay. Alright. What's this? Oh, it's got light switches on it. That's weird. It's got two light switches. I guess each light you can turn on and off separately. This is a really nice light. Oh, that one's on. This one doesn't seem to work. I guess I need to get a new one of these. Probably. Oh, this is a really nice light. Must have been expensive when they got it. These things are supposed to like tilt or something? Oh yeah, they tilt a little bit. Pretty cool, huh? That's pretty cool light. I like it. This one works, so I'm just going to go ahead and assume that what's wrong with this one is just a light bulb issue. I like how it folds up so nice and tidy too. I'm not going to fold it up right now though because I'm feeling lazy. What do you call that, a floodlight? I call it a work light. It's like, you know, if you're doing some kind of work outside at night. That's what it seems like to me, but I don't know what you call it. But I like it. I know that. Especially if I get the light bulb replaced and it works, then I'll really like it. If only one half of it works, then I'll only half like it. Let me get my coffee. Oh, I think I left it in the back. And let's smoke a cigarette. We did a great job, guys. We went down to the shed. We got a few things. We brought them back up. We fixed a wheelbarrow. We saw, see if that light worked. Oh, I guess I didn't leave it back here. Must have left it in the house. We do have potentially some plan today to get a little work done on the pond, you know. What do you want, kitty? Tell me, what do you want? You want me to watch you eat? Okay, here. There. Now you're being fully watched. Oh, yes. What a silly boy. What a silly boy, McGilly boy. Okay, I found my coffee. We can all relax now. Wow, that's generous of you, Fly Guy. I'm sure your things appreciate that. Well, I'm pleased that the wheelbarrow is in adequately working order, you know. Yeah, well, especially if the Almighty is a half broken light. And we don't know for sure. The Almighty might be that. Alright, I'm turning on the TV. I'm putting you guys up on the big screen. Did I ever have that cigarette? No, I never did have that cigarette. We have to go with a cigarette first. Boy, oh boy. Life is an adventure that just never stops producing adventure. Just day after day, moment after moment, it's non-stop adventure all of the time. Right now, 5 of you are having the adventure of a lifetime. You're welcome. My fingers smell a little bit like WD-40, so I think I'll scoop the weed with this so I don't get any WD-40 on the weed. If he's a broken toaster, you need to have your bases covered. Understandable. You're wise. Nobody can dispute that. It's kind of like taking Pascal's wager to an extreme. Well, my safety pin solution is not working very well. They keep popping open. I'm trying to safety pin this hole in my pants. It's not as successful as my wheelbarrow repair was. I'll show you the pants situation here. See, I'm trying to safety pin it closed, but the hole's just too big at this point. But I don't like this hole. Oh, I could get out the sewing material and sew it. Could be like a big sewer. Sew my way to victory. But I think I really probably need to get a patch. Yeah, well, I don't like these holes though. I get that some people want holes in their pants, but I am not among those people. I am somebody who wants pants to not have holes in them. Perfectly sensible approach towards pants, I think. Yeah, I'm going to have to get a patch. I could patch it with corduroy. I have some pieces of corduroy from a pair of corduroy pants that I dismantled. Let's try that. Let's do a little patching. Well, that's good advice. Let's do that. I'm going to take these pants, I'll put on some different pants, I'm going to patch these pants. Patching on the inside sounds hard. I think I'm going to patch on the outside. Let's go look for patching material. It's right there. One of them is out of propane, so I need to get another bottle of propane. Let's go look for my corduroy. Okay. Now, I'm going to get different pants to put on while I'm doing this work. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Eric. I want to hang out with you.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to be doing now is a little bit of sewing.
Oh.
I really need new needles, but I have one needle here that I'll have to do.
What are you going to sew?
I'm going to sew a patch onto these pants.
Very nice. Would you like that?
Yeah, that'd be nice. Is this Santa's Village or... Hi, Matarazzi Sound. I'm fine. How are you? I'm going to go change my pants now so that I can work on repairing these pants. All right. Now we're cooking with biscuits. We've got our pants here. Just need to cut a patch out the right size. Put the pants right down on here. I could take off these safety pins at this point. And this one. All right. So I'm going to need some scissors and a piece of this that's the right size. Like about, it's going to have to be pretty big, you know. Okay. Now, put this on here like that. Okay. Now we're going to get the needle. There. I got my glasses. We're going to get some thread. We just go with this brown thread here. It should be fine. Okay, well this is already threaded through, so I could maybe tie this to that. Let's try that. See if it works. Okay, this is fine. Just need to do this now. Okay, we're going to put one end of this through here. And then tie that there. Good. Well, let's just see if this works as is. We will see. Okay. Now I want to make sure I don't go through 2 layers, so let me just Okay, well, how am I going to make sure I don't go through 2 layers? That didn't work. Okay, I have to take this string off here. Okay, now this is not going to be an easy needle to thread. Got a very thin hole. Okay, well, Trey. That looks pretty good. That's pretty good. Yes, I did it. I got it, everybody. Whew. I did it. I got it to go through. That was tough. I feel pretty proud of myself for that. Okay, now we're really cooking with biscuits. So, what I need to do, I guess, is this. I need to come like this. I need to put a thing in here. Like a leg, but not an actual leg. So let me put something in there. Something like this. There. That'll be perfect. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to start on this side. And I will attach that there. Okay. Start right here. I'm going to pull a lot of string through because then we don't have to redo it again so soon. Okay. So, sewing does take a little bit of patience, but if you don't care about how clean your stitch looks or anything, which I don't, then it's not that bad. It's not that big of a job, really. It may well be, however, the kind of job that benefits from having a weed drink. I might bust one of those open in a second. There. Okay. What do you think, Rachel?
I think it's great.
I got a perfect patch material here from these corduroys.
Yeah, you really did.
It's almost as good as if it were denim.
Here's your Zach.
Oh, thanks, Charlie.
You're welcome.
You have to pen it? Oh no, I'm not penning shit. I'm doing it the Eric way. Which is to say half-assed and full of sass. I could thread the needle. I threaded it already. You stay over there, though. Really coming along. Watching someone sew has got to be among the more dull things that a person can watch. It's in the general category of paint drying, but maybe a little bit more exciting than paint drying. At least my sewing comes with this valuable commentary. Ow! For those who don't know, sewing is essentially a straightforward process of poking and pulling First you poke, then you pull. Makes it a little bit different than sex, which first you poke, and then you unpoke, and then you poke again. With sewing, first you poke, and then you pull. It's a succession of poke pulls. Oh my god, I just watched him eat, and so did everybody on the internet. He had like an audience of 5 people. Now he wants you to watch him eat? Trouble. You need to be less of a neurotic Nelly. Alright, we're coming along. We are really coming along here. I'm going to win the Susan B. Anthony Sewing Bee competition. Okay. Wow, this is going to be one of the most ambitious sewing projects I've ever undertaken, really. Of course, I also made Porter's clothes. That was pretty ambitious sewing project, but not as ambitious as this, I don't think. I believe sewing to be among the manly arts. It's one of those things that women tried to steal from men. Oh no, we are good at sewing. No, it's the manly thing to do is to sew. Women should be out hunting. Boy, that's a good job, Eric. You've done a great job so far.
Wow, you really have.
I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you.
Thanks, darling.
You're welcome.
All right, so we just get a little bit more down here. Just like this. Just like this. This is my new man show, one man show called Pioneer Woman. Come on. What's it called? There we go. Good. Okay. No. Come back over here. I think we can get rid of you now. That end. Other end. Here.
Nicely done.
Wait, no, that's that end. So. There we go. Okay, so still gonna need something in there. Let's go with something a little smaller though. There. Okay, so now we need to come around this corner a little bit. coming along, bit by bit. Yes, this is a little bit laborious, but when I'm done, I'll have a working pair of pants, which I currently basically don't have. Oh no, I didn't. Okay.
William asks, "Is that you, Betsy Ross?"
It is I, yeah. I'm competing at least in the 200th annual Betsy Ross Sewing Bee Contest. I'm sewing up a storm. You could say I'm sewing like the wind. Okay. There. 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 There we go. Okay, now what I need to do is a little bit of trimming here. I could fold it, but I'll just trim it. Now let's take a look. Get this out of here.
Look at you.
Looking pretty okay. It's a little bit, imperfect, but that's okay. I can live with a little imperfection. Okay, that's fine. I will just cut this right there, like so. Okay, now I'm going to need to rethread it with more thread, which is not unanticipated, so that's fine. Just need to find the thread. Here it is. Here's the thread. Hi, Ryan. Good morning.
Hi, William.
Okay. Rachel, I wonder if you might be a lamb and make us egos.
Sure. 4?
Yeah, I'd like to.
Okay.
I am putting a patch on my jeans that have a big hole in them. I had it through too. We're gonna blow out. What does that mean?
Meow. Meow.
Got it. I got it.
Meow. 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 Meow.
Okay, I've only got 2 more sides to do. One long side and one short side. I hate mine. Okay. Okay. Let me put this back in here. I hate myself when I think about all the horrible things that I've done in life. Uh-oh. Come on. Mother of pearl. It's alright. It's gonna be okay, everybody. Put your panic sticks away. It was a big sewing project.
Yeah.
I should win some kind of prize for world's biggest sewing project.
Schlong asks, yo, host Eric, you a fan of rural utilitarianism?
No, it's just util with a different justification. It just shifts the expectation of prediction from this prescribed action to a specific rule, right? It still bases its justifications on the principal notion that greatest good for greatest number is how one determines morality, which is patently false, makes no sense, and is not a normative framework. So, you can get your rural utilitarianism right out of my face. Rural consequentialism, they call it. Might as well just call it rural utilitarianism. Some bullshit TE-DOM's attempt to split the difference. Why does it keep doing that? That's because of this one. I need to cut that. Okay, good. In other words, the proper response to rural consequentialism is rural consequentialism, shmrural, shmrualism. Don't think you can dress up your util in sheep's clothing around me and make me think it's a sheep. No, sir. No, sir. All utilitarianism runs afoul of the fundamental truth of individualism, which is that only individuals can take specific actions, and we can't know what they ought to do, only what they ought not. And that's one to grow on. Sure, it still maintains as its core justification the flawed notion that we can and should calculate impacts to determine whether an action is morally permissible or not. Not how it works. Greatest good for greatest number is just some individual's bullshit idea of what a proper community is being forced on everybody else. Everybody just needs to get Get used to the fact that you cannot determine moral status based on measuring impacts. Period. Whether it's the impacts of a rule or anything else. You know, I could even leave the bottom flap unsewed. So if I want to give a sexy knee show to somebody. Believe it or not, this is, we're not that far from being done with this job. And I want to point something out to everybody, and this is what makes this a true Christmas miracle. You know how much speed I'm on right now? 0. Oh, well, you must be at least on some Wellbutrin, Eric. 0. I'm on nothing but dreams and boyish charm. So stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Since I don't really have anything worth sticking in my pipe and smoking except for weed. So if you're asking yourself, where should I put this and what should I do with it? The answer is in your pipe and smoke it. Whew. You're really sewing up a storm.
Yeah, you are.
Mm-hmm. 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 Hmm.
Raul viewer says hi, Eric.
Hi, Raoul viewer. I could obviously be a professional tailor, but I just don't feel that they compensate me well enough for my gifts. In high school, I was voted most likely to become a professional sewer. A male seamstress is called a tailor.
Hmm.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, it is.
Should be called a seamster. I said I don't want all the responsibility of being a tailor. I'd rather just be a seamstress.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And that's what you are? You consider yourself a seamstress?
Yeah, I consider myself a seamstress. Not just a seamstress, but the 21st century's best seamstress.
Ooh.
Obviously, I'm not going to necessarily be able to compete against some of the 19th century big names in seamstressing like Julie B. Higgins. I'm never going to be a Julie B. Higgins.
I believe in you.
I don't have that much time to devote to my seamstressing craft. Julie B. Higgins, she spent her whole life working on it. Very good. Okay. Meow. What are we meowing about this time? Captain meows so much. Okay, down to the last side now. Hmm. Okay. Okay. That's about as far as I can get with this amount of thread and needle, so just cut that off. Let's put this down over here for now. I think that might be good enough. I'm gonna try these pants on and we'll see how they look. I'll be right back to model my pants for you. Hello, Excelsior. Wow, wow, wow. Look at that. It's not fully sewn on down here, but that's fine. It still works just fine. It's a lot better than my previous situation. That's good job, Eric. Good job. See? Wow. Yeah, I could sew in a little bit more here, but I don't really feel like it right now. I just safety pin this bit. There. Perfect. Thanks, Ryan. Thanks. I'm a real pioneer woman now. Wow, it's so much better than it was. That deserves a cigarette. First, let me eat this Eggo waffle, though. Hi, Mr. Tahoe. How can effort be effortless? Ryan, you understand the effort, the answer to that question, except you're trying too hard. How's that for an unsatisfying answer? Would you say that trying so hard is effortless, Ryan? Okay. Now I can put this back where it goes, and this back where it goes. This is rags. It was just rags until it became a patch. Now I feel a great desire to patch all of my clothes. Like, look, there are little holes developing here too. I could preempt those holes by patching them right now, but I'm tired of sewing at the moment. I only have so much sewing in me per day. And it's a fairly small amount of sewing, I'll admit that. If F says let's do X by 2030 and Nate says no, that's too soon, Karen plan to do it by 2031, what kind of permutation even is that? They are technically compatible. It's a time frame perm. But Uh, and you can make that argument, but it's kind of weak because well, it's questionable as to whether the AF can accept your time frame proposal and still affirm, right? That's the biggest problem with, I guess, a straight up time frame counterpoint like that. It seems permutable to me, even if it's exclusive, because the AF, I mean, technically by the rules of severance, the AF shouldn't be able to um, sever their time frame and generate a new one mid case. But that's, you're getting very techy, right? Like you're you're relying on a judge being very technically precise in dealing with it. You could do that, but you'd have to have the right judges who are going to buy that. Hi, said hi. Himashu Soul. Sony. Himashu Sony. Hi, David. You're just smoking a big, delicious double joint with tobacco in it, UK thing. Those are called spleefs. Is that what they're called? Spleefs? You have tobacco and weed in your joint at the same time. My goodness. Is it an absolutely gorgeous day? It's chilly enough outside right now that I'm comfortable with this jacket on. But it's sunny and it's just like green and breezy and gorgeous. A spleef. Our oak trees coming into leaf. I think home fries here may have preferred life in the garage to life outside. I'll just put them back in the garage. This is home fries. There's a lot of birds and stuff chirping. I think I got another poop in me. Where is all this poop coming from? My hole I'm digging for the pond. Dug it pretty much. What a gorgeous day. It's like the sun is warm, it gives me goose pimples while the air is chilly. There's a mirror. You could look at yourself. I see me in the mirror. I'm assuming you guys see yourselves. Yeah, I'm really lucky to live where I live. It's just, I couldn't be more pleased with where we live. I feel incredibly lucky. This kind of cute little flower. All right. Time to go poo. In fact, I think I'm going to wrap up the stream for a bit. And maybe I'll stream again later. I'm not sure. But I'm going to poo and then I don't know what. Until later, goodbye.